PBA Chameleon Championship rolls on at South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa, the special exhibition hall. As we look at the camp, rooting for Brian Simonelli, fiance Chelsea Larson, and Pop Angelo Simonelli. Kretzer, the higher seed, has given Simonelli the start of the match. Mike Jakubowski with Randy Peterson and Jason Couch calling the action. Semifinal match.
Jason, we talked a little bit about the ball reaction of Ryan Simonelli. I watched Brian Kretzer in practice throwing a lot of straight shots from out, even though you're not supposed to play out on this oil pattern. Brian not known for the straight shot from out. He's known for slow hook, and it's going to be very interesting to see how he plays the lanes.
I got to think that that Kretzer may be a little out of his comfort zone if he's going to plan on playing this pattern straight.
Spare for Simonelli fills the frame. Our first look at Brian Kretzer. Man, a few words, but Brian is always excited to make a show. PBA Tour champion out of Dayton, Ohio, opening shot. That looks like a different line than we saw during the warm-up, Randy.
It's like Jason said, he's got to play to his strengths, especially if he wants to have a chance at beating Ryan Simonelli based on what Ryan did in the first game. And Jason, the 3-6-9-10 on the right, not the easiest of spares.
In the touring player's opinion, this is the hardest spare to pick up.
What do you call it on your side?
Death.
On the outside.
That's different, huh? I've seen a lot of players throwing the ball straight at that spare these days.
I don't agree with it, but hey, he made it.
Yeah.
Joe Kretzer cheering on Brian. Here in our semifinal matchup, Kretzer and Simonelli. Don Barrett is waiting in the championship match here at the PBA Chameleon Open. Slaps out the 10, does Kretzer.
Much better shot by Brian on that one for sure. He definitely looks more comfortable than when we saw him in practice.
Well, that's his bread and butter right there, Jason. And maybe the first shot on the right lane was just television jitters, but this here, great shot, 6 goes to the wall, snaps the 10 out.
Simonelli with the big game in our opening match. Ring 7.
And Jason, that might be the only thing that stops Ryan Simonelli today is bad carry.
That's the only thing I think that could derail him.
See that ringing 7 there, something that Jason Couch never left in his career. Especially on television or at a tournament of champions. Jason, I got to ask you this question. You know, a lot's been talked about here in the booth about the uniqueness of Ryan Simonelli's follow-through. At times, straight behind the left ear. When he left the pocket 7-10 last week, it was over by the right ear. What makes the direction of his follow-through change?
I think it would probably be a lot to do with the speed of his follow-through as well. When he gets a little revved up, he tends to get more aggressive at the ball. You could definitely see that last week's telecast where he followed through in front of him.
Strike for Simonelli.
We're going to take a look at his follow-through once again. Wouldn't you agree, though, he's a pretty good athlete? I mean, this kid hits the foul line as solid as anybody. You see that first crossover step that gets him to go right early, and then here's the follow-through a little bit in front of his face.
And that ball never had a chance, and he had really posted some great shots in that match.
And no roll 2. Brian Kretzer. His only title came in 2010 at the Go RVing Match Play Championship.
Brian Kretzer's approach is about a 7-step approach with a little half a stutter step. Well, there was a time, Jay, when he was taking about 10 steps going to the foul line, little short stutter steps just to get himself started and feel some rhythm.
Yeah, you know, he's changed his game quite a bit, but you can still see he has that massive drift after those first few steps.
Big drift to the left to help him feed the ball to the right. And you would think that he really thrives on these longer patterns because he likes to throw the ball soft and really likes to get his hand in it.
Flat 10.
If you notice that two things that Kretzer likes to do and Smallwood likes to do: throw it soft and get a lot on the ball. And it's no coincidence that they're both on the same telecast.
And they both like to drift left. Spare here, this match is all even.
Even match. You see that blue out on the lanes? That's the new dye. For the first time, the PBA has dyed the oil, the conditioner, so this chameleon pattern shows up as that blue coloring that you see down lane. Concentrated in the middle and a little lighter on the outside.
What do you think of the dyed oil on the championship pair, Jay?
I think it's great for the viewers at home to actually see what happens to the oil when we're putting those highly powerful balls down there. It picks it up in a hurry.
It's a double for Simonelli. He takes a 10-pin lead here.
This kid has just gotten better and better over the last few years.
He was talking to us about changing his mental outlook and approach on things and turning things around for this season. Or excuse me, this World Series, getting refocused. Making a show in Thailand, said that helped him, and here we are again with the similar situation, similar to the last match, in that the right-hander is in trouble and Ryan Simonelli has yet to miss the pocket.
High hit and the baby split. The 10 gets kicked out to make it a little more difficult.
Hits the 10, it doesn't go down. He goes high, light, high on the right lane.
You know, I got to tell you too, Randy, that there's more pressure on these guys right now because they know Ryan's going to throw a lot of strikes on this pattern.
That's a great point. The 10 pin is off spot, but the machine didn't make it off spot. A pin moved it off spot, and therefore if the machine can pick it up and set it back down, it stays there.
It stays in that location.
Yep.
It's a little tougher spare, but the conversion for Kretzer as he stays clean, but he's yet to double. Here's a look at his bag.
It's on a high road, kind of middle of the road in terms of hook potential in his arsenal.
Him down to Kretzer, earns a strike. And our semifinal match will continue. Can Ryan Simonelli storm his way into the title match, or will Brian Kretzer find a way? Chameleon, coming up next. Welcome back to South Point in Las Vegas, Nevada. Continuation of the PBA Chameleon Championship at the World Series of Bowling. Ryan Simonelli with a turkey 22-pin lead over Brian Kretzer. Winner will get Tom Barrett in the championship match. Here's that blue oil we were talking about, Randy.
Well, you can see the worn area, the deep inside part of the lane where the right-handers have been playing. Even though the righties started out here, you can see a little bit of worn area right there around first arrow. But notice over here on the left side of the lane, very smooth, very clean playing surface, because there's only one left-hander out there, and that's Ryan Simonelli.
That is the brand new die that shows you what was previously unseen. The Chameleon oil pattern here in Las Vegas. Now Simonelli working on a turkey, trying to extend his lead. 6th frame. Here he comes.
Hey, Jason, you know, I talk a lot about feast or famine on the left side when there's only one left-hander, because when there's only one left-hander and they're really nice, the lanes are really good, and you're talking about a full-course meal. But when they're bad, you don't have any other traffic to break the lanes down. Explain a little bit what that's like, because you've been on both sides of that.
Well, yeah. Today for Ryan, you know, all he's doing is making his ball reaction better. And all he has to do is continue to work at that speed adjustments to find out how to get the ball to go through the pins.
And nope, 7-pin remains, ending the streak for Simonelli.
Where, you know, if you get a telecast where there's maybe 3 lefties on the telecast, you're going to see a lot more wear. You're going to see different moves that you're not used to seeing when you don't follow a certain lefty for a few pairs. And, you know, that's when the right-hander could certainly have the advantage.
Do you see any reason whatsoever why Simonelli's reaction should go away?
The only thing he'll lose is his pin carry, and he's going to have to make speed adjustments or maybe even switch equipment. But that's it. He should be what we call carving out the pattern to make him really nice for himself.
It's moving time for Brian Kretzer. If he's going to go, it needs to be now. He's yet to double. He has a chance here in the 7th. With a pair of strikes, he could cut the lead to 11 pins.
He hasn't hit the pocket on this right lane yet.
If he makes his move here off that high shot and he goes light, it's over.
Yeah, I agree.
In the tournament, stats provided by Lane Talk, strike on strike, Kretzer is 68%. See what he can do here on the strike. 7-10.
Just no chance at all. It just seems like every time he makes the move to the right, it overhooks, and when he moves in, it never gets there.
And it looks like he really tried to give this one the stuff at the bottom of the swing, and this ball just hydroplanes all the way down the lane. And, oh, let's not forget the nice break leaving the pocket 7-10.
Open frame, and Simonelli's path to the championship match just got a little easier.
So when you're Ryan Simonelli in this situation, Jason, what's going through your mind?
Just keep repeating shots. Watch that ball go through the pins to make sure that it's continuing to go through the pins the right way. Don't look forward to the title match just yet.
Kretzer can still shoot 215. He strikes in the 8th frame.
I really like his new attitude, I guess you could say, towards his bowling on TV. You notice he hasn't gotten too aggressive.
Right.
Really kept patient, and I think it's going to be an improved Ryan Simonelli.
We saw that last week.
Drills it. Strike.
You ever seen him post up that many shots?
I tell you what, he's worked really hard, and the hard work is paying off for him right now.
Ryan's fiance Chelsea Larson and dad Angelo.
Well, we've mentioned that Ryan has only one PBA title to his credit. That happening back nearly 3 years ago at the 2011 Earl Anthony Memorial Classic in Dublin, California. Simonelli's 3rd appearance on television. Fittingly enough, that year's Earl Anthony Classic featured an all-lefty final. #1 seed Simonelli going up against veteran Patrick Allen. But it was Simonelli who had put together 2 3-baggers, holding off a late charge from Allen to win 237 to 215.
My turn, baby. It's finally my turn.
Interesting to note, Allen, who just missed making today's televised finals, was also the runner-up to Brian Kretzer in his only PBA title win, the 2010 Go RVing Match Play Championship.
That's all she wrote.
We'll let Ryan tell you about it.
Now, if you're Dom Barrett watching this match and you caught a piece of the first match, you got to be thinking, I hope I can find something.
I think it'd be more like, Mr. Barrett, did you bring your striking shoes today?
Now, the only positive for Dom Barrett is he gets choice of starting lane. Doesn't look like he wants to finish on the right lane based on what I've seen.
Right, and Dom does play the lanes quite a bit different than the first two right-handers on the telecast. So I would think that Dom probably realizes that the end's not looking too good right now, that he might want to throw some shots outside.
Mathematically over.
Ryan Simonelli advances to the championship match. We'll take on Dom Barrett for the title. And a good run at this event for Brian Kretzer. And a third place finish. So Jason Couch, when you have a 10th frame to work with, match in hand, how do you go about setting yourself up for the next match?
I would take this 10th frame, and if I was Ryan, and I would certainly try maybe a different ball, maybe something that's a little stronger, because if the oil's going to push down, he's going to want something to start a little earlier. You always have to stay ahead of your moves out here. That's the guys that hold the trophies on the weekends.
Just one and none.
Hall of Famer Jason Couch, we appreciate you stopping by.
As always, gentlemen, a pleasure.
I'm sorry, did you just call me a gentleman?
I did, sir.
Oh, God. Wait till I see you back home in Claremont, Florida.
I'm just warming you up.
I am so going to egg your house.
Ryan Simonelli advances to the championship match. 235-179 final score. Coming up next, the PBA League Challenge will face the obstacle course. And after that, Ryan Simonelli takes on Dom Barrett for the title here at the PBA Chameleon Championship.